大家好，我是 Eddie，欢迎来到你好汉语。Hi guys, this is Eddie. Welcome back to my channel. Today's lesson is a grammar point from HSK Level 4 textbook, Lesson 2. If you have the book, you can study with it. If you don't, that's fine. Just listen to me. Today's grammar point is actually a comparison between 差不多 and 几乎. Once again, 差不多 and 几乎. They're very similar in meaning, but with different use, and that's what we're going to discuss today. Today we have two different categories. The first category is to compare the similarity, while the second one is to compare the differences. Let's get into it. The first one, let's discuss similarity. They both are adverbs. If you want to describe two things which are very similar, very close to each other, then you can use 差不多 or 几乎 in your sentence. Let's take a look at the example given from the book. 他汉语说得很好，差不多跟中国人一样。Or you can say, 他汉语说得很好，几乎跟中国人一样。He speaks Chinese very well. Almost is the same with Chinese people. Let's break down. 他汉语 his Chinese. 说 means to speak. 得 is a grammar point. It's a word that you have to put between a verb and an adverb, which is going to describe back the verb. So 得 here is a must. 说得很好 means speak very well. 很好 means well. And 很 is a default or filler word. It doesn't mean very. It doesn't signify a degree. It's just there. 差不多 / 几乎 means almost. 跟 means with. 一样 means the same. So the grammar point here is 跟 what 一样. That means the same with something. 中国人 Chinese. So the whole part here 跟中国人一样 means is the same with Chinese people. Let's repeat the sentence. 他汉语说得很好，差不多 or 几乎跟中国人一样。他汉语说得很好，差不多几乎跟中国人一样。Moving on to the differences, there are actually 4 differences in this lesson, so we're gonna talk about it one by one. The first difference is that whenever you want to use 差不多, you can only use it to describe one adjective. For example, if you want to describe two girls are almost the same beautiful, then 差不多 is the word you use. You cannot use 几乎 because beautiful is 漂亮. 漂亮 is one adjective, right? Or if you want to say other adjectives like today and yesterday are almost hot as the same, and then you can only use 差不多. We'll have examples coming later. And in terms of 几乎, this phrase, you cannot use 几乎, to describe one adjective. You have to put something between or after 几乎 to describe that adjective. Okay, I figure maybe a few examples will answer your confusion. Let's get into it. The first example sentence is 他们俩差不多高。他们俩差不多高。他们俩 means they. And when you see 俩, that's a word indicating two people. So 他们俩 means they, but you have to know there are two of them. 差不多 means almost. 高 means tall. 他们俩差不多高 means they almost have the same height. Now, because 高 is an adjective, right? It doesn't matter how many words in this adjective, it is one adjective. So that's why we cannot use 几乎 in this sentence because, like I said just now, if you want to use 几乎 to describe an adjective, then you have to put something before or after 几乎 to make it make sense. So that's why we have the second sentence. Let's take a look. 他们俩几乎一样高. You see, the first and the second sentence are almost the same, but why there is 一样 in between 几乎 and 高? That is because the grammar points told us to do that. We have to put something, after 几乎 here to make it a correct sentence. 几乎一样高 is the correct way to say they're almost, they almost have the same height. You cannot drop or erase 一样. 几乎一样高. That's the only right way to say it if you want to use 几乎. If you say 几乎高 without 一样, that's a wrong sentence. Please be careful. Don't say 几乎高. Please say 几乎一样高. Moving on to the third one. 他比我几乎高了一头. 他比我几乎高了一头. He is almost one head taller than me. That's the meaning. 他 means he. 比我 means than me. 几乎 means almost. 高 means tall. 一头 means one head. One head taller than me. 比我几乎高了一头. 比 is a keyword here that identifies it's a comparison sentence, like than somebody. If you want to use comparative form, then 比 is a keyword you need to remember. Let's analyze the sentence because the speaker chose to use 几乎 but not 差不多. So he cannot say 几乎高 and stop suddenly. It doesn't work. Remember, we said if you want to use 几乎 to describe 高 like an adjective, you have to say something else, right? That's why there is 高了一头, taller. Taller how? Okay, one head taller. You have to use something else to describe it because you use 几乎. Then some students might have a question, can I replace 差不多 with 几乎, in the second and the third sentence? The answer is absolutely yes. So for all the three sentences, you can use 差不多 because the use of 差不多 is simpler than 几乎, right? You can just use 差不多 to describe adjectives without no more things. However, when it comes to 几乎, then you have to put something else. There is no way you use 几乎 to only describe, only use 几乎 to describe an adjective. That's wrong. All right, take a look at the second difference. When you use 差不多, you can use it to describe a number, indicating being very close to that quantity. And 几乎 doesn't have this use. Please be careful. When you want to describe the number, you have to use 差不多. For example, somebody is almost 60 years old, or it's almost 3 o'clock. The two sentences both have number in it, then you cannot use 几乎, you have to use 差不多 to mean almost. Let's take a look at the example sentence. 李老师差不多60岁了. 李老师差不多60岁了. Teacher Li is almost 60 years old. That's exactly what I just said. 60岁. 60 years old is a number, so you cannot say 几乎60岁了. You have to say 差不多60岁了. Another example I can give you is, it's almost 3 o'clock. 现在差不多3点了. 现在差不多3点了. 3点, 3 o'clock is a number, so you have to say 差不多 instead of 几乎. All right, moving on to the third difference. Well, I personally think the explanation from the book of the third difference is a little bit difficult to understand because, it's too grammatical. So for me, I want to say the third difference is that whenever you want to make a sentence like something and something are similar in something, for example, A and B are similar in age, A and B are similar in size, in height, in appearance, like A and B are similar in what. Then this is the time you can only use 差不多 but not 几乎. So I feel like if you want to use 差不多 to describe a noun, that's basically what the third point is talking about. So the order is you say the noun first and then 差不多 coming next after that noun you want to say. Let's take a look at the sentence and you will understand. 姐妹俩性格差不多。姐妹俩性格差不多 means the two sisters are similar in personality. 姐妹俩 means the sisters and 俩 indicates two. 性格 means personality, characteristic. 差不多 means almost the same. Okay, I have another example for you. The two rooms are similar in size. So because you're using size, which is a noun, right? You want to use similar or almost the same to describe the size, and then you can use this sentence structure. 这两个房间大小差不多。这两个房间大小差不多 means these two rooms are similar in size. I hope my explanation is clear to you, hopefully. Now, moving on to our last point. This point highlights a use of 几乎. Now, 几乎 can indicate something negative. That negative thing almost happened, but didn't happen, fortunately, but almost happened. So let's say you have one important thing to do. You almost forgot to do it, but in the end, you did it anyway, fortunately. So this is the time you can say 几乎, while 差不多 doesn't have this use. Let's take a look at this example sentence. 这件事我几乎忘了告诉你了。这件事我几乎忘了告诉你了。For this thing, I almost forgot to tell you. 这件事 means this thing. 几乎 almost. 忘了 means forgot. 忘 means to forget. That's a verb. 告诉 means to tell. 告诉你 tell you. 这件事我几乎忘了告诉你了。So some students feel like there are too many 了 in the sentence because there are two. So you might wonder, can I just drop one of them? Yes, you can. Let me read it for you. Because, this is the part where grammar point is not too strict. Okay, this is, you can make it casual. You can say, 这件事我几乎忘告诉你了. You drop the first 了. Or, 这件事我几乎忘了告诉你. That's also very natural, to be honest with you. But you cannot drop both of them. You have to keep one of them. All right, our last part of today's lesson is a drill practice. We have 5 sentences. Let's take a look one by one. Number 1, 这件事我们班 blank 人人都知道. For this thing, our class, everybody almost knows it. So 差不多 and 几乎 both work. Because 差不多 and 几乎 work here as an adverb, it's okay to use both of them. Second sentence, 这次考试他们俩的成绩差不多. This exam, their score are very similar. Now remember, 成绩 means score. That's a noun. So if you want to say they are similar in score, do you remember? We have to use 差不多 instead of 几乎. 差不多 can describe a noun. Number 3, 今天早上起床晚了，上课 blank 迟到了。The correct answer here is 几乎，上课几乎迟到了。The translation is This morning I got up late and I was almost late for class. This is something negative. It didn't happen, but almost happened. So that's why you have to use 几乎, not 差不多. Sentence number 4. 我的房间跟这个教室 blank 大。The correct answer here is 差不多大 because it means my room is almost the same size with this classroom. 大 at the end is an adjective, right? You want to use 差不多 to describe adjective. Remember, when there's only one adjective, you cannot use 几乎, you gotta use 差不多. Number 5. 要不是你给我打电话，我 blank 忘了咱俩见面的事。Correct answer is 几乎。The translation is, if not for the fact that you caught me, I almost forgot the fact that we have to meet. You know, if you forget to meet your friend, that's something bad, right? But fortunately, this person didn't forget, only almost forget. That's the part, that's why you have to use 几乎 instead of 差不多. Alright, everyone, that sums up today's lesson. Comparison between 差不多 and 几乎. I hope you find this lesson useful, and if you have any further questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and when I see it, I will try to solve your problem. 好了，今天我们的课就上到这里，我们下次再见，拜拜。